In this introductory section of the course, I'll be drilling into the Arduino Uno, which is the most popular Arduino board out there and the one that I recommend that people new to the Arduino begin with. And in this lecture, I'd like to show you a few variations of the Arduino Uno. Now remember that in a couple of sections from now, later on in this course, we'll be talking about other Arduinos aside from the Arduino Uno, such as the Arduino Mega, this board right here, or the Arduino 101, just so that you know that there are other boards out there aside from the Arduino Uno, and these boards bring out a variation of different types of features, more power, more pins, a combination of the above, and I think it's a good thing for you to know what other Arduinos are out there aside from the Arduino Uno. But because this course focuses on learning about the Arduino and programming it and connecting it to various peripherals, in this section, as I said, I'm going to focus on the Arduino Uno. Now, the Arduino Uno itself has been out for more than 10 years. I remember my first Arduino when I purchased it, I believe it was back in 2013. So over the years, there have been new Arduino Unos that came out with very small variations. However, the original design has proven to be very stable, which is another advantage of the Arduino Uno, its stability over time. So in this view right here, I have 4 Arduino Unos. 2 of those are genuine Arduino Unos. You can see this one is the latest generation of the Arduino Uno. I purchased it just a few weeks ago. It's the Arduino Uno R3. It comes with a little case here for the base. And this is an Arduino Uno that is genuine, as it's called, means that it's made and sold by Arduino itself. And here is a slightly older Arduino Uno, also genuine. As you can see, it's pretty much identical to the current version of the Arduino Uno. Both are R3. You see that there is the R3 marking right there on the front, and the same information appears in the back. Designed and assembled in Italy by Arduino.cc. You'll find this information on both boards. Now here I've got another high quality Arduino Uno compatible board. This is not a genuine board, but it is a compatible board. And this one is made by Arduino or arduinostudios.com, as you can see in the back. So this is a fully compatible board, but as you can see, there are differences. The layout of the headers is the same, but instead of using a DIP microcontroller chip that you can see here, instead it's using an SMD device. I believe it is hard to see. Yep, so this little chip here is called the SMD, first surface mounted device right there. This is a variation of this large black chip that you see here, which is plugged into the board. In the case of this compatible Arduino Uno, the microcontroller chip is soldered onto the board. This is one of the many differences between the R3 Arduino Uno and the Arduino version of the Arduino Uno. Now let's focus on this device a little more and see what else is different. You'll see that the USB connector, this connector right here, is a micro USB, whereas with the genuine Arduino Uno, you've got a type A, I believe this is a type A USB, which is pretty big in terms of size, but what I like about it, it's also very robust. It's very difficult to break a connector like this compared to a mini USB connector like this one here. Another feature that I really like about this Arduino are these Grove connectors. So these are called Grove connectors, and they allow you to connect your Arduino to peripherals like these that come into small modules via a simple cable. Just have a little example here to show you. So this is a Grove cable. If you want to connect, for example, this is just a simple LED module. You just find the appropriate port. Let's plug it into this one here, the first one. And the other side will go to the module that you want to connect it to. And this is only possible to connect in one orientation, so you can make a mistake. Let's try this side. Yep. So you now have connected your Arduino Uno to the external device, and you don't need to worry about jumper wires and breadboards. So that makes it easy to do some quick prototyping, and also to ensure that you don't make mistakes with the way that you connect your peripherals to your Arduino Uno. So set the Grove connectors as safe, because they can only be connected the correct way. So that's another type of device that you'll find out. There's many companies that produce high quality Arduino Uno compatible boards. In addition to all that, you'll find boards like these. Very, very cheap, but also very low quality Arduino Uno compatibles. I wouldn't recommend going for one of those unless you want it as a spare, perhaps, a disposable essentially. Genuine Arduino Uno may cost around, say, $20 or $30 to purchase, whereas compatible like this, low quality, could be maybe $5 or $6. So I often use boards like this if I want to give them away, or if I want to commit them to a particular project after I've done my prototyping with a high quality Arduino Uno, and I know that I'm not going to use this board again in another project. So essentially it is disposable. A few things to know about lower quality compatible Arduinos like this one is that for the manufacturer to be able to offer such boards at such low prices, the sacrifice, of course, is in the quality of the components. So for example, you can see this component right here, which is used to drive the USB port, is a lower quality USB controller compared to the microcontroller that is used on a genuine Arduino Uno. With this board, the genuine Arduino Uno, this is just an example, as I'm saying, you just simply plug this board into your computer and it will just work. Whereas with boards like this that don't use the official hardware and higher quality and more expensive hardware, it's likely that you're going to plug this board into your computer and your computer won't know what to do with it, because it won't be able to recognize what this chip is, and you'll have to struggle finding drivers, for example, and installing additional software for your computer to be able to handle this board and to be able to communicate with its USB port. Other quality issues that you often find in boards like this are the quality of the headers. After inserting and removing jumper wires from these headers a few times, you'll find that they start to become loose, and connection then, when you have a loose connection electrically, you're starting to have problems with communications issues, and things go wrong with your experiments, which leads to a lot of frustration and struggle. So that's why I personally only use these boards as disposable boards when I know that my experiment, my prototype has worked on a higher quality board like the Arduino Uno, the genuine board, or from a high quality manufacturer like Seed Studio. Then I can consider using a lower quality board in order to make my projects permanent and not having to sacrifice a higher price Arduino. All right, now another common characteristic of all these Arduino Unos, of course, has to do with the microcontroller that they use. They all use the same microcontroller. That's the Atmega 328P. This microcontroller comes in a variety of device configurations. So there's the DIP device here, which allows you to plug it into the board and remove it and replace it. Or you have the SMD variant, which is the surface mounted device, which is soldered onto the board, and of course you can't replace it. Now, the biggest common denominator between these boards, or among these boards, is the configuration of the headers. So this configuration allows you to plug in devices like this, or peripheral devices like this, which are called shields. So this is one that I made. The shield configuration of its headers is compatible with that of the Arduino Uno, which means that you can quickly snap on a shield onto your Arduino Uno and you're good to go. You don't have to solder anything. And of course, all Arduino Unos have got the same configuration of their headers, so they can quickly snap on any Arduino Uno. And you'll find a great variety of shields for the Arduino Uno. For example, I've got here a display from Adafruit. This shield contains a color display with an SD card reader, and you snap it onto your Arduino Uno, and now you've got the ability to display information on this color screen. Another example that I'm also demonstrating later on in this course is this LCD display, which also contains buttons, so you can use that to create a user interface. And you can create a user interface that allows you to interact with whatever is being shown on the screen, navigate through menus, make selections, and again, you can just simply plug it onto your device, onto the Arduino Uno like this, and now you have an Arduino Uno with a user interface, a visual and tactile user interface for your projects. Now, before I finish with this lecture, I just want to show you this device here, which is an Arduino Mega. I'm going to talk more about this in a dedicated section, but what I wanted to show you really quickly here is that the Arduino Mega is literally an extended version of the Arduino Uno. So you can see here that the left side of the headers for the Arduino Mega is identical to that of the Arduino Uno. So that means you can take a shield that works for the Arduino Uno and plug it onto the Arduino Mega, and now you have something like an Arduino Uno, but with a lot more pins available and a more powerful microcontroller chip. Just removing that really carefully, which is this device right in the middle. So this device here is like the Atmega 328P, but more powerful. This microcontroller is the Atmega 2560. Exactly the same way of programming it as with the Arduino Uno, but with more memory and more available pins to connect to your projects. Okay, and now that you know enough about the various Arduino Unos, let's continue with the next lecture, where we will focus on the Arduino Uno and talk about its various components one by one.